Hey, Nikki, can you hear me?
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking your time to talk to me today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to know, there's been a little bit of confusion. I know you said you were going to fight and then it didn't happen. So can you kind of give me a little breakdown of what's going on with that?
Yeah. So I got I I got I'm not really exactly sure. I think we're on kind of in a at a standstill a little bit. I got a call on Monday. They were like, hey, we need to answer ASAP. I called my team. We were like, yeah, we're in on the fight, and now we're not sure. It's kind of up in the air at the moment.
So it's not a no for sure. I mean, you could still potentially get a call on a few days' notice, or are you thinking a different
No, I
date?
mean, we got the call for the 16th, and we're not sure if the 16th is still happening or not. Not on our end. We're prepared. We're ready to go. Some complications. It's a crazy time in the world. We're being understanding, and I'm staying ready.
So speaking of staying ready, I mean, that's got to be hard, especially like you said, with the way the world is right now. I mean, it's tough enough for people to just get out and go grocery shopping. I mean, only can imagine what it's like to try and train. So are you able to train like normal, or what, how has it changed for you?
It's changed a little bit, but I'd say if anything, it's lately at least it's like kind of changed for the better. I've been doing great work. We don't have our full team, but my most important pieces, my most important teammates, they've been with me, grinding with me, getting all the work in, super prepared. It's been a little different, obviously. We don't have the full classes and all that stuff, but our work hasn't suffered at all. We've been getting it in, and are feeling very, very prepared.
So I know too that you're a big proponent of the CBD products, and I'm wondering if that's been something that's kind of helped you get through this, and if that's been something you're worried about, with some demand and supply. Has there been any interruption with getting that to you, and what's kind of your regime with CBD?
Yeah. Luckily, my CBD supply has been great. I've been working with Vena CBD, VENA.
Uh,
It's I've been taking CBD for years, but that's my favorite. I've just been introduced to them a few months ago, and it's amazing. You know how people will say, like, when they have like that first sip of wine, how it's like it's like a breath of fresh air, like a relief. I get that when I do the Vena CBD drops, and I'd never felt that from CBD before. Like I said, I've been taking CBD different types for years, because I know all the great qualities of it. I get hit in the head, and I'm stressed, straining my muscles often. So CBD is great for recovery. It's been huge for me. And yeah, Venus kept me supplied and healthy, and ready to rock.
and you said too that you're staying ready, and I know that um, I've been told quite a bit by fighters that it's easier when you kind of have a date and a name in mind, and so that not knowing and kind of the limbo must be tough. But I'm wondering if that short notice kind of call might be something you might also enjoy. Is it something maybe you don't have to worry, for the 6 weeks or 2 months or however long you train for? You can just kind of get in there and do your work. Which would you prefer?
Typically, I would say I'd having a full camp, and like having like the 6 to 8 weeks, is ideal to prepare for an opponent. And in the UFC, these are the best fighters in the world, so it's good to have some time. But like I said, I've been training as if I had a fight. I guess maybe something in me kind of knew this was coming almost, but I've been ready, and it's kind of, I guess, it kind of can alleviate some of the anxiety. Although then, boom, you get hit with it quick. You got a big anxiety, because it's like, all right, now we know we're on a short in 2 weeks. But yeah, I guess it's not the long draw. Think about the person every day, every night, for 2 months. Rather, now it's just think about it for 2 weeks. because there is a big like mental aspect of the game. You know what I mean? So there's there's good and bad to it. In this situation, I think it's pretty perfect.
Yeah, and I think too, with the short notice fights and weight cutting is kind of the thing that a lot of fighters obviously hesitate with because, with the short notice fight, you can't prepare for that. And just today we had Jeremy Stevens weigh in almost 5 pounds over, and I'm curious, what kind of precaution would you take if you were called and so that that wouldn't happen? And how would you feel as somebody who would be fighting if somebody came in overweight? What's your reaction to if your opponent, like if that had been your opponent, what would your thoughts have been?
That's a really interesting question. And so if the UFC had called me on 2 weeks notice and I was weighing like 100 and if I was weighing 200 pounds, which sometimes I could get up to that weight, then I don't know if I could accept the fight, because I would have to do like a kind of like crash diet, losing weight like crazy. 2 weeks would be hard to get down to 170. But luckily, I was staying, like I said, I've been staying kind of in fight shape. I've been at a good weight in the 180s, where it's not, it's not too much to make that weight. I think, I'll make that weight no problem. So there's good and bad if your opponent misses weight. The bad, obviously, is they didn't have to suffer the same way you did and get to the weight. There's a reason why we set that weight. Everyone is supposed to have to suffer equally or, be the same weight to make it as fair of a fight. When some guy comes in 5 pounds over, it's like, well, why'd I have to get down to here if you didn't do it? So it can be, it's kind of, I don't want to say disrespectful, but it's not professional to miss weight.
Right.
But at the same time, if your opponent misses weight, you get a percentage of their purse. So for example, when I was fighting CM Punk, if he had missed weight by a pound, I would have got $100,000. Which, you know what I mean? That's I wish.
A good bonus.
Yeah, I wish he missed weight. But at the same time, there's also a lot of statistics where the person who misses weight often wins.
Right.
They win more than they lose. So it is a little bit of, that's why they compensate financially, kind of punish them. But yeah, so there's good and bad. But as me as a fighter, it's our job to make weight and be professional and show up on weight. So I didn't think I could do that.
Right. So my last question for you, and I hope it's a fun one. I noticed on your Twitter bio that you said you're not the coolest person, but you're in the top 3. So I'm curious who your top 2 are. Coolest people.
That's a great question. I didn't really think it out. It used to be the top 5.
Uh-huh.
I used to say but I'm definitely in the top 5. I guess recently I upgraded myself to the top 3. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, off the top of my head, you got to say The Rock there.
Okay.
And then I don't know. So I don't know. I'd say it's kind of between me and The Rock, and I don't know.
And a mysterious third person.
Yeah, the cool people coming along every day. Some cool kid was probably just born yesterday, so I got to watch out for him.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You as well. Great talking to you.
You too.